Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the This Is Gonna Hurt podcast. My name is Gordon Duncan. I'm the owner of Capitalize Marketing and Consulting, and this show is part of the larger Capitalize Your Best podcast network of shows. Here on Monday, we have This Is Gonna Hurt, which is about making a better you. On Tuesday, we have Coach Training Partners, which is about helping coaches grow their revenue and create programs on their own. On Wednesday, we have Capitalize Your Best, which is about growing your marketing and your business. On Thursdays, we don't have a formal podcast, but we have a live coaching call every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern within the Capitalize Your Best community. And then on Friday, we have You're Entitled to Your Opinion, which is just a fun review show based upon things that I'm watching or people I want to interview. Big friends, thank you so much for tuning in over and over and over again. We get really close to 600 episodes. I've got something very special planned for that, so keep an eye out. And I do want to remind you that we now have the new Capitalize Your Best community. This is an online community apart from social media where everyone in it contributes. We have conversations surrounding the 10 pillars of capital. These are the 10 things that all of us have in our life that we can grow and build upon. That comes from, of course, from the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader. Also in that community, we have daily videos, we have weekly coaching calls, and we have end-of-month seminars. There's a lot of wonderful things going on there, courses, things you can't even imagine. I have a free 7-day trial for anybody who wants to check it out, and it's only $29 a month going forward. So reach out to me, and I'll be glad to point you in that direction. And then also, as we now move into February, on February 17th, I have the Grow Your Faith Capital Workshop. That is on Tuesday the 17th between, 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Forgive me, we changed the time from last year. And if you'd like to be a part of that, let me know. That's about growing your faith and your spirituality, and I would love to be a part of it. Now, I've got something very exciting, a brand new initiative to tell you about. Since the launch of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader, that launched on Black Friday of this past year, we have sold a ton of copies. We've had a great impact. There's now a Wednesday night book club in the Capitalize Your Best community. So if you're reading the book and you'd like to participate with others, reach out to me. I'll make sure you get to be a part of that club. And then it's just a growing sense of enthusiasm around the book. And the biggest thing is it's making an impact. That's my challenge to myself when I wrote it. It's also my desire for the book. But I've been thinking, how do we grow the impact? Like, what do we do to make the impact of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader even greater? And I've been inspired by my friend Tuan, who wrote a book that he is putting in the hands of prisoners. That is his background. He came out of prison. He was licensed John Maxwell leadership coach. Now he's going on to create multi-million-dollar businesses. And so I've been talking to him some, and then I thought, well, I'd like to get the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader into the hands of the people who need it. What is the mission that I can connect with the best, and who can we get it in the hands of? And then I thought, I got it. Some of you may know, but if not, I taught high school English in an alternative school. So this was an alternative school in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And for the most part, to get to my school, you had to be expelled from another school. It was sort of a halfway place between a public school and then also from juvenile prison. And the design of the school was to decrease the dropout rate. And so it was a wonderful time. I taught day school and night school and summer school, and I was very intimately involved, just helping grow the kids, helping them get their tests, helping them graduate, helping them give something they never thought they could do. And I greatly enjoyed it. And since then, I've had a chance to work at, or at least interact and speak at, other alternative schools. And I thought, wow, man, what would have happened if my students could have had the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader? And I began thinking, like, what impact could have been made? So then I go online, I start doing some research, and I'm like, well, is alternative schools, is that just something in the South? And there's 2 alternative schools here around me here in Fredericksburg. And I found out that there's, as of last total, 5,810 alternative schools. 5,810 alternative schools across the country. And in total, about 800,000 students attend alternative schools. Now, not all of them have the same population as mine. Mine was a wonderful group of kids that had been through some tough times, and at times were pretty rough. And there are other alternative school models, but I thought, that's what I want to do. I want to put to Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader in the hands of every single alternative school student in the country. That's 800,000 students. I want a big vision that's going to motivate me in a big way. I want a copy of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader in the hands of every single alternative school student in the country, 800,000 students. How is that going to happen? Well, it's only possible with your help. And so here's what I'm asking. If you'd like to join me in this mission, I'm going to be collecting copies and ordering. Every time I do an order for another client, I'm going to put aside some copies. And then every time I get 100 copies, I'm going to go to an alternative school and I'm going to make a donation. And so 100 is somewhere around the average of students in most of these classrooms, excuse me, most of these schools. And so I'm going to be making now connections with the alternative schools in the area and across the country and let them know what I'd like to do. And so every time we get 100 copies, I'm going to find an alternative school, make sure the connection is made, and I'm going to eventually have them lined up so I know who to go to next. And we're going to donate copies to every single student there. Here's how you can help. You can purchase copies for the students. They're $20 a piece. And so what I'm doing is, if you go online, my books are typically $29.95. The Kindle, excuse me, is still 99 cents. I've looked at it on Amazon. I figured out how to do it. And so every time you buy a copy for $20, a copy is going to be given. So meaning you're going to say, hey, Gordon, I want to buy a copy for a student. And then you send me the $20 and I'm going to set it aside. I encourage some of you to buy 5, 10 copies. Talking to Twan, he just had someone donate 1,000 copies to the local prison system. That's what I'm talking about. So I would like for you to reach out to me. We're going to be taking payment primarily through Venmo, but we can also do debit card. We can do it however you like, but primarily just making it easy. And then I will order the copies. When the copies come in, I will let you know. And then when we get 100 copies and we're ready to serve an alternative school, I will let you know about that as well. But I would like to see students in the alternative school system get a chance to level up daily. And I think the design of the book is perfect. It only takes a few minutes to read each day's entry. It's definitely empowering. It's definitely motivating. And I'd like to partner with you to make that happen. So if you're interested in buying student copies of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader, just reach out to me. You can comment here on Spotify. You can reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok. I'm everywhere. Capitalize this everywhere. But let me know. And so copies for the students are $20. If you'd like to buy a copy or multiple copies, let me know. I will immediately order your copy and hold it until we have the 100. And then when we get the 100, then we'll be distributing them. So guys, I'm really wanting to see the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader make a broad, giant impact on the students in the country. And I'm starting with the alternative school system. We'll see where it goes from there. Let's take care of these 800,000 first, and then we'll go from there. So if you'd like to buy a student copy of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader, reach out to me. They're $20. Buy 5, 10, 20, get friends, get people together. I will let you know when they're ordered. I'll let you know when they come in, and I'll let you know we distribute them. But we're going to make a big push this year to make sure that every student in the alternative school system has a copy of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader. I'll eventually have a website set up, but right now we're just going to be taking donations straight through. Let me know. Reach out to me. I will explain anything I can to help you get started. And then when you would like to order your student copy of the Capitalize Your Best Daily Reader, I will order it for you. So friends, thanks so much. Let's make an impact. Let's change things. Let's enable our kids to have empowering reading content that they can digest. It's also going to make a big change in their life. And I look forward to see what happens next. Thanks, friends. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.